As a journalist, I've covered my fair share of unsettling stories, but none compare to the chilling encounter I had in the remote deserts of the American Southwest. This story began when I was assigned to cover a series of bizarre livestock mutilations on the Navajo reservation. The locals were tight-lipped, their reluctance to speak almost palpable, but I was determined to uncover the truth. My journey took me deep into the heart of Navajo territory, where the arid landscape stretched endlessly under a blazing sun. I arrived in a small, close-knit community, where the elders finally agreed to speak with me under the condition that I respect their traditions and beliefs. They spoke of the Skinwalker, a malevolent shapeshifter from their legends, capable of assuming the form of animals and humans alike. The mutilations, they believed, were the work of this creature, an entity feared and respected for generations. Skeptical but intrigued, I set up camp near the area where the mutilations had occurred, hoping to catch a glimpse of whatever was responsible. The first few nights were uneventful, filled with the usual sounds of the desert: howling coyotes, rustling leaves, and the occasional distant call of an owl. But on the fourth night, everything changed. I was sitting by the fire, reviewing my notes, when an eerie silence fell over the desert. The usual nocturnal sounds ceased abruptly, replaced by an oppressive stillness that set my nerves on edge. Then, in the distance, I heard a faint, unnatural cry, a sound that was neither animal nor human. My pulse quickened as I grabbed my flashlight and ventured into the darkness, determined to uncover the source. As I walked, the sound grew louder, more distinct, like a guttural wail mixed with a low growl. I scanned the area with my flashlight, beam cutting through the darkness, but saw nothing out of the ordinary. Then, I caught a glimpse of movement, something darting behind a cluster of rocks. I approached cautiously, heart pounding, my flashlight illuminating a path through the rugged terrains rounding the rocks. I froze. Standing before me was a creature unlike anything I had ever seen. It was roughly human in shape, but grotesquely distorted, with elongated limbs and eyes that glowed a sickly yellow in the light. Its skin was a patchwork of fur and scales, and its mouth twisted into a menacing grin. The creature let out a bone-chilling screech and lunged towards me. I stumbled back, tripping over a rock, and fell hard to the ground. Desperation fueled my movements as I scrambled to my feet and ran back towards camp, the creature's footsteps pounding behind me. My mind raced, terror gripping me as I realized I might not make it back alive. Just as I neared the camp, the creature let out another terrifying cry and veered off into the darkness. Gasping for breath, I reached the safety of my campfire, the light seeming to ward off the encroaching shadows. I stayed awake the rest of the night, clutching my flashlight and a makeshift weapon, eyes darting to every flicker of movement in the dark. The creature never returned, but its presence lingered, a constant reminder of the danger that lurked just beyond the firelight. The following morning, I packed up and left the reservation, shaken to my core. I knew I had witnessed something beyond explanation, something that defied the rational world I believed in. I reported my findings to my editor, but the story was met with skepticism and ultimately shelved as a fanciful tale born of local superstition. To this day, I can't shake the memory of that night. The fear and the sight of that creature haunt my dreams, a vivid reminder of the terrifying unknown that exists beyond the veil of our understanding. The Navajo were right to fear the Skinwalker, and I learned to respect the legends that guard the darker corners of our world.